Hello, my name is Erica Soper, and this presentation is for LAS 535, Making a Home for Homeless Teens in the Public Library. We will cover some demographic information, meeting homeless teens where they are, collaborating with agencies to offer services and resources for homeless teens, the resources and services provided by the library, the continuous evaluation of barriers that prevent teens from accessing services, and the next steps. So, homelessness is defined as a person sleeping in a place not meant for human habitation or living in a homeless shelter. Approximately 1.3 million homeless children are in the United States right now. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, almost 72% of homeless teens experience physical or sexual abuse. 20 to 40% of homeless teens identify as LGBTQ. Homeless teens often have poor school attendance, they change schools frequently, and they're at a far greater risk of dropping out and reading below the grade level. So the big question is, if a homeless teen walks into your public library, will you recognize them as homeless? Homeless is a blanket term that encompasses many things, specifically chronically homeless, so you'd be homeless for a year or longer. That's about 10% of the homeless population. And then those who fall under temporary homelessness from, one night being homeless up to a year being homeless. So many teens are temporarily homeless, and it really is difficult to, just by looking at their appearance, be able to tell that they are homeless. So I just wanted to give you a little background information for you to understand what homeless teens that come into your public library may be facing. So some will actually come in through your doors. They seek out the safety and services of the public library, but so many more are not actually coming into our libraries. So it's really important that we do that good outreach work in places such as the homeless shelter or the food pantry, so that we make contact with these homeless teens, and that through those contacts we can build and maintain relationships that are essential to being an effective librarian, especially to homeless youth. Project RISE is a collaboration between the Akron Public Schools, public library, and area shelters. And those who work in this program really focus on the flexibility of serving homeless patrons and to provide open-ended programming, and to really understand the importance of extending special invitations to those individuals they're working with as a way to come into the library. According to Collins, Howard, and Miraflor, San Jose Public Library staff began going to the homeless to provide services instead of waiting for the homeless individuals to come to the library. I think that just sums up that notion of outreach for public libraries to homeless teens. So we need to collaborate with other agencies, because the public library provides some wonderful resources, but it isn't the end all and be all for the services that homeless teen population needs. So collaboration is essential to meet those needs. The also core professional value for teen service is collaboration, foster relationships within the library and within the community to best serve our teens. We need to make sure that we ourselves are trained to know the local resources available, and our staff need to know what those local resources are as well. And it's also really helpful to create an identifiable space for pamphlets and resource materials, so that those who don't feel comfortable coming to the desk to ask questions about what's available to them, they can have that information on the library floor. And then also consider becoming part of a National Safe Place program. You see the logo down there, that would be out front to let people know that this is a safe place that can help connect them to resources. So many homeless teens are not that different than other teens, and they enjoy many of the same programs. What we may need to do is just make some small adjustments to best suit the needs of those homeless teens. We can also include them on the Teen Advisory Council to get a new perspective of what they would like to see in programming, as well as offer some surveys so that those who don't feel comfortable joining the Teen Advisory Council could also get their input, share their input. Two great programs are the Bibliotech STEM program, started in 2013 and still providing workshops on video design, 3D printing, robotics, and computer programming. In the Seattle Public Library, weekly teen drop-in social hours are a great way to fuse connecting social services with the services that the library can provide, as well as creating some interaction with peers. It's also important that we are mindful of the developmental asset, especially empowerment, connecting youth to the community and realizing that youth are resources in the community, such as being volunteers or helping with programming. So time is a factor to consider as far as a barrier. If your program starts at 7 and the shelter opens at 7, where are they going to go? Just think about that. Consider offering food, childcare, transportation, and how your policies may inhibit access, such as requiring a picture ID or proof of address. So next steps, think about these 4 things we talked about as a self-evaluation, seek out additional resources, and commit to making the public library a home for homeless teens. And these are the resources.